consent form, I don't remember what example it is in here. It is example 3. It's in the patient's chart for consents, and it's letting the patient know, that they are paying that $80 fee. They're supposed to agree to when they're supposed to start it, when they're supposed to bring it back, and the patient knows.
Oh, wait a minute, they bled it 20,000, how much is it?
It's $6,000.
6, yeah, other tests.
But it tells them if they don't bring it back, then they will pay us $6,000.
Yeah.
Because we only have one.
Yeah, the other thing is, say if you're gonna learn how to instruct a patient to use it, just, I mean, anybody, especially men, make sure they wear a t-shirt when they, because you get the straps back and you've got all this body hair on it, it's gross.
Yeah, and we tell everybody to wear a t-shirt, but, like some people's just animals, even though there's animals in their bed,
Take
there's.
hair off the.
And if they're interested in it, what button are we pushing? Or if they're like, yeah, what's that cost?
The Embletta or the oral sleep?
The oral, or even TMJ, they're like, yeah, that sounds really great, what's it gonna cost me?
So, if you're going to, it would be our preference from the front desk aspect, if you would push the recommended TMJ button or the recommended OSA button. Because as soon as you push the TMJ button or the OSA, the TMJ is $2,105. And once a patient finds out that by the time they get up to the front desk and we see that there's not any coverage, we'll talk to them and tell them about, the benefits of them getting it. But they may, once they hear that amount, if the insurance doesn't cover it, they could possibly say, I don't want it.
So you guys look up the fees and stuff without treatment planning it?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. And then the oral sleep appliance, it is right at $7,000 without insurance. If a patient, we find out once we get all of the paperwork that we need, their sleep study, the script from the physician, if their insurance isn't going to pay or they have a high deductible, it's $3,200. We'll take all the write-offs for the patient.
So what's the difference in the recommend the OSA and recommend ZZZ?
So recommend ZZZ is the Embletta, just for the screening to see if the patient has sleep apnea. And the recommend OSA is the appliance and all the testing to actually treat the sleep apnea.
So that would be usually somebody that we already have a physician's order for.
Mm-hmm.
The OSA one is?
Yeah, the next part of the thing, Dr. Mitchell and I both kind of did things. In the health history, the very first section of the health history has actual diagnoses that patients have been diagnosed with. And there's actually a button that says, or thing that they can click that says they have a CPAP. So, sitting chairside with the patient, when you're looking at the health history and you see that it says CPAP, one of your first questions to your patient you should ask is, are you wearing your CPAP? Are you faithful in wearing it? So then if they say, no, I hate that thing, then that would be your cue to say, hey, you know what, we offer this.
And again, I'd let them know it's an FDA approved appliance, it's hocus pocus.
Yep. Then, starting today, before it was on the new patient registration, different symptoms that a patient can have, I've now moved it to the health history, so a patient will fill it out every 2 years.
And does it say on the health history, do you have sleep apnea?
Yes, it says sleep apnea and it has a CPAP. But in the conditions, anything that's marked yellow, these are signs for you guys to know that, hey, potentially that person has TMJ or sleep apnea. It used to be on our form called a total health care form, and we've incorporated it into their health history. And then also the pictures of what Dr. Mitchell was talking about, the wear facets, there's linea alba, the scallop tongue, the swollen tonsils and uvula. I've put pictures in all there so everybody can see exactly what we're talking about. And then wherever it says red and says see examples, all of the forms that we would have patients fill out, they are all on the examples.
I think that, especially having practiced as long as I have, I mean, TMJ I've done since the 80s, and I became introduced to it from this Dr. Smith, who originally was in this office, and then there was a retired dentist friend of his, Dave Krajic, who was one of the pioneers in TMJ and the instrumentation and testing, and worked with Seattle, and then there's a new group called BioResearch that was in Milwaukee, and that's where I got my training. So anyway, I learned a lot from them and became interested in it, and, you know, I just like, I like testing and knowing what I'm treating, and again, the success rate with it, and to have patients that are happy and do well. I mean, that's to me, I'm always excited to get those patients, so it's fun to treat. It's, the same thing with sleep apnea. You know, I mean, it really is a life-saving thing for those people, especially, you know, when you find out how many people will say, yeah, I've got a CPAP, or I had one, but I don't wear it. So they just, a lot of times they're not aware that they can do something else. And, you know, I think I said that 40% of those that are given a CPAP are tolerant. They say statistically on the oral appliances, there are up to 20% that won't wear the oral appliance. I haven't had that experience, but, you know, we could run into a couple people that wouldn't, but, anyway.
What was the children sleep apnea?
So the other thing is, children, you know, a lot of times you'll have parents say that, oh, my kid grinds so much it wakes me up at night, and usually you'll find that it'll be maybe somebody that's a child that's like 5 to 7 or 8 years old, and you'll see the wear patterns in their teeth from grinding, and a lot of times at that mixed dentition stage, as they start when they get their molars, that's helping determine more or create more of a vertical dimension to their bite, and without it, sometimes they have a closed airway. And something really scary to see. I mean, I've been at meetings and they show these videos of these kids struggling to get air. These little kids are lying there, and their stomachs are heaving, and they're not moving any air. It's just, it's awful. So a lot of times in with kids like that, you'll find they have a higher incidence of hyperactivity. You know, they'll be kind of that ADD kind of a kid, just because they haven't had any REM sleep at night. So if parents complain, you know, say, you know, my kid grinds his teeth, you know, and that, you know, sometimes it's, well, how behavior-wise at school, how are they doing? Do they have any problems? And you start seeing some of those things, and it's something that, you know, you might want to visit with your pediatrician about sleep apnea. So children in sleep apnea would definitely be treated through the sleep lab and that. But the other group of kids that you'll see will clench or grind at night are kids that tend to have more allergies, and that they have more inflammation in the air. And again, it's an issue of getting an airway, establishing and maintaining airways.
And the adenoids and tonsils too, right? And I had one kid who we had referred back to the physician, and the physician just didn't really know or do anything. And so then we referred to Hamilton and Wilson. Do you want us, should we be doing both? Like referring to Hamilton, Wilson, and to the physician?
I don't know, yeah. Just so for the sleep apnea aspect, or the.
Yeah, if we see a kid's got, you know, a ton of wear, and, because like I feel like the kids that I've seen it, they've seen an ENT, and this kid, he had like a deviated septum, but they didn't want to do any surgery until he was older, so they were kind of at like a standstill on treatment options, but he had ADHD and like.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, physicians should be, you know, pediatricians should be in tune to sleep apnea kids. I mean, it's kind of
going to
a
the
bigger topic
pulmonologist.
now. And so, you know, I mean, it should be a physician's responsibility to recommend treatment, and again, that's because it's a medical problem.
Do you know any physicians that like are really involved in that? Because I just had that mom. She was like, they like didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
So I
know what to
would
It should
call
go
Andrew
through,
Brockman, call the sleep lab and talk to
the
them
Cotton
about it.
O'Neill Sleep Clinic.
to call them, and we could send a referral.
354-9591.
But I mean, we might call and ask, say, you know, so if we've got a 7-year-old, how do you like that treatment?
And I'm gonna
You
be
don't have-
meeting with Angie Brockman and Jessica Collins within the next month or so.
You know, so the comment about Hamilton to them, listen, if you feel like it's sleep apnea, I think there's a liability of referring to, like, if you really feel like it's sleep apnea, then it should go to the physician and then.
And I
to the
did send a
physician.
referral to the physician, we
Yeah,
had to have
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and then that's when I called Don and he said, yeah, we'll see him, and then if we need to refer to the sleep physician, then, or to a like pulmonologist or whatever,
Yeah,
they would.
so, yeah.
Somebody's coming.
Hello.
That's fine.
Party is this. We're just finishing our meeting.